Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, it is time. It is time that we cover the Transformers comics. I've been asked to cover them, and we're going to cover them. We're going to cover the first issue of the Energon universe made by Skybound Comics. And I am very, very excited to cover this with you guys because I got to be honest, this is really good. Like, really, really good. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, where this initially starts off is we see helicopters and a sunset, and then it shows another photo of the Ark crashing into the earth, and then we see a soldier on the floor with, looks like his eye's missing, and then we also see Optimus with his eye missing as well, and you see Dad wake up as you see a rocket launch up, and then it kind of just transitions to what we see Spike and his dad, which is very cool. And I gotta say, I was kind of shocked that they were going with just Spike and Sparkplug here. It seems like this whole comic line is very G1 inspired, but with its own take, so it is very cool. But you do see Spike looking for his dad and, asking, hey, where you been? And the dad's like, oh, well, I just got here. I was doing some errands, and, the bartender rats him out. Says, nah, he's been here all day. So, yeah, and they just keep talking. And you see Spike's dad point out that Spike has a telescope and basically asking, why would you want to remember, as it shows a photo of an explosion? And this person they are talking about, Spike, just says, I'm not going to end up like him, Dad. We see Davey coming in, interrupting the conversation as he goes and offers to take Spike's dad to work as they go on for the night shift. And right before they go, you see Spike's dad say, eventually you're going to have to grow up, Spike. And Spike says, and be like you. And they drive off away as Spike's dad, pretty much what it looks like to be ashamed to be a dad, at least for that exact moment. And as Davey and Sparkplug drive away, we see Carly arrive with her really awesome looking van. As she says, that sounded rough. We then move on to the next page where we see it's later in the night and they are going to go stargazing. You see Spike commenting on Carly's van saying it looks really good, and Carly being, I don't know, it still seems like it's missing something, not quite sure what it is. And you see Carly and Spike talk to each other about what seems to be the future, as if I were to take a guess age-wise, I'd say they're probably around in, high school, maybe about to graduate or something, as Carly brings up Spike's future of trying to be an astronaut and brings up how Cal is the best place to do it. Spike brings up the fact that Carly is looking at art schools and how basically her and her dad are looking and doing their best to make money so that she could go to art school, which is really cool. Carly mentioned that I wish it was easy for you, Spike. I'm sorry about your dad, about Jimmy. And you see Spike say, me too. And then right when that happens, it transitions to them falling down this cliff area, and they fall down and they fall into the Ark. And man, this is so cool. This is so cool seeing them walk in to the Ark and just see just all the Transformers offline from when the ship crashed into Earth. As again, that's something that happened in the G1 continuity. When the Ark crashed, they were all, offline, and the first one to get put back online was, I believe, Skywarp in the Generation show. I could be wrong. Then you see Carly say, what are those? And Spike says, it looks like they are some kind of robots. As they continue to walk into the Ark, they see Jetfire, which is really cool that Jetfire is here. And you see Jetfire say, my fallen friends, it's finally time. Had I enough power to lift this ship from the mountain, I would bring you all home. But I had enough Energon to trigger an earthquake and reveal yourselves to me. And he starts to activate Teletran 1 and saying that he has new forms for these Transformers to have alt modes and disguise themselves here on Earth. And the first one to be activated from Teletran 1 is Starscream. And you see Jetfire basically saying, my old friend, I have not seen you for centuries. Right after Jetfire says, thank you for bringing me back to life, he shoots Bumblebee right in the face, dude. Hits them while they are down. I honestly did not see that coming at all. And Jetfire is grabbing him saying, hey man, what are you doing? And Starscream is basically saying, I'm doing what I gotta do. Do you not see their markings? We are at war for hundreds of years, and the perfect opportunity was right there, and he took it. And as we see Teletran 1 scanning, we see a familiar looking arm, and while Jetfire is trying to stop him, Starscream just shoots Jetfire right in the chest. You have Starscream saying, I'm surprised at you, Jetfire. Showing weakness, what a waste. And Jetfire is saying, no, this is not what I wanted. And Starscream just going on and on as he has his null ray facing what it looks to be Jazz. Right before he pulls the trigger, you have Optimus Prime, who enters in, pulls the null ray and basically just tackles him, and then he slams him onto the ground, which is amazing. What an entrance for Optimus Prime in this comic. Optimus basically saying, really man, shooting us while we are down literally offline. As Starscream and Optimus are duking it out, you see Spike and Carly make a run for it, and then you see Optimus Prime get up in Spike's face and say, hey, what are you? And Spike's like, I'm Spike. And then right before Starscream's about to throw another shot, Optimus tells him to get behind him. And then we see Ratchet, who comes back online, just kicking Starscream in the shoulder. Starscream gets a real beating, man. He's just getting thrown around. But with Ratchet being brought back online, so does Skywarp. As they start to shoot, they take cover. Optimus rallies up Ratchet and Spike and Carly to go to his trailer. By the way, I find it very funny that his trailer is just really just there on all like the offline Transformers. I just think that's really funny. And as they go to the trailer, Optimus goes and runs to his ion blaster, and Soundwave gets brought back online and says extermination protocol active, as he shoots his shoulder cannon at Optimus's feet, knocking him into the floor with a big explosion. And then you see this emotional scene with Optimus seeing that Bumblebee was shot in the face, and I'm guessing he's dead here, as Optimus says, Bumblebee, oh no. And Spike, witnessing this, he realizes that the Autobots are the good guys. He realizes that Optimus Prime is the good guy here, because you gotta know, Spike's just thrown into this whole situation. He's not really gonna understand, you know, who's the good guys, who are the bad guys. As Optimus holding Bumblebee, Starscream grabs Optimus by the neck and starts to, it looks like, puts him in a chokehold. And Starscream says, look at this fool mourning over the weakest of them all. And as Soundwave unleashes Ravage on Optimus's arm as he tries to reach for the Ion Blaster, Spike goes in and rushes in with Carly to push the Ion Blaster to Optimus, and Optimus just shoots. And I mean, like, just shoots Ravage, like, right in the freaking face, dude. Ravage is down for the count. Optimus breaks away from Starscream, dodges from Skywarp's stomp, gets up with the Ion Blaster, and says, I'm sorry, Teletran. We are outnumbered and outgunned, as he has to make the ultimate sacrifice and destroy Teletran 1. And man, this art right here, this whole page of just Optimus shooting Teletran 1, Optimus and Ratchet telling Optimus we're loaded up and ready to go. And you see Optimus run out of this explosion holding Spike and Carly. He's just so freaking cool. And as they are running out, they essentially transform and roll out. And man, I really dig these alt modes. Like, I like how Optimus's alt mode looks. I like his trailer. I like Ratchet's alt mode. It is very good. You see Spike and Carly freaking out as they're about to essentially drive off a cliff, and they do. But they do land. As they land, they are still being followed by Starscream, and you hear Ratchet say, what in Spark's name is in your cab? And Optimus saying, I'm not sure. These small creatures must be natives of this place. And you see Carly say hi to Ratchet as they are still being chased, as Starscream's in the hot pursuit along with Skywarp. While Starscream and Skywarp are still in hot pursuit, we see Jetfire gets up after taking a meaty blast from Starscream, and he gets up and helps Optimus and Ratchet escape, but while also taking another big huge shot. And Skywarp essentially crashes, and this is due to them having low Energon reserves. As them being reactivated from Teletran 1, they still don't have enough energy reserves to really do any of this, so everyone's going past their limits here, and Skywarp is one of the first ones to just kind of poop out here. And then we see on the next page, they do end up going to this old quarry that Jimmy and Spike used to sneak around as a place of, you know, kind of a resting place to hide from the Decepticons, and just not really where anyone can see them and be hidden. But as we go and we see Jetfire, and after taking another shot, it looks like Jetfire's just not really going to make it here. So to all the Jetfire fans, I am so sorry. As we see Optimus go up to Jetfire, and Jetfire says, I am gravely injured, Optimus. And these two have a conversation with each other, reminiscing on how Optimus was in his younger days and how long Jetfire has been gone, trying to find a way to help and restore their planet. And as Optimus brings out his Matrix to try and heal them, Ratchet brings up the fact that the Matrix can heal, but it can't stop the inevitable. You have Jetfire apologizing, saying he didn't know that Starscream and the Decepticons were going to do what they did to the Autobots. As I believe I have to read Void Rivals here to really understand Jetfire's place. I think that's the chronological order here. So expect the Void Rivals coverage on here on the channel, because I'm really interested and intrigued here of how long Jetfire's been gone. So definitely keep an eye out for that on the channel. So, and we see Jetfire ask, is there any hope? And Optimus just says, I don't know. And then you have Jetfire say, I have failed my mission. Cybertron will die. Everything will die, as we see Jetfire die out. We then go back to the arc and we see Starscream demanding Soundwave to fix Teletran 1, and Soundwave saying he can't fix it because it's beyond repair and they need Energon, as he has already sent Laserbeak to scout for resources, and they are now receiving coordinates of possible sources of Energon. And everyone kind of looks at Starscream here saying, like, you know, you go, and Soundwave brings up the fact of the harvesting is up to you. It's what Megatron would do. And before he finishes that sentence, Starscream cuts him off. You have Starscream get up in Soundwave's face and says, do not say his name. I am the leader of the Decepticons now. Which I gotta say, this is a very interesting take. It seems like Starscream finally got what he wanted. Starscream, for the most part, in all Transformers continuities, has always tried to get leadership, always tried to be the leader of the Decepticons, has always tried to take down Megatron, and it seems like he finally got what he asked for, and it's definitely not what he thought it would be. We then see Spike's dad and Davey talk to each other. Davey basically, you know, saying, hey, you know I care about you, right? And you see Spike's dad say, shut the hell up, Davey. You know, basically shutting down this whole conversation of just, look, man, I'm good, Spike's good. And, you know, Davey keeps pressing on and says, Spike needs you, your support. I know it's been rough, but Spike's dad basically lashes out on basically saying, what do you know about it? Have you gone through what I've gone through? And this is just, Davey's just trying to be a good friend here, and because of you know, Jimmy being, you know, dead, it's just kind of hard to open up to these type of things, especially, you know, with anyone when it comes to lossing, you know, grieving. Everybody grieves differently, and it seems like for Spike's dad it might be one of the worst cases here. You see Spike's dad get up in Davy's face and says, you should keep your opinions to yourself. And before that conversation even finishes, we see Starscream coming into this power plant and basically just, you know, mocking the Decepticons, saying, go by yourself, they say, do all the work, they say. Well, I'm tired too. And as you see Starscream just ripping this power plant apart, trying to get energy, you see Spike's dad and Davey trying to run for it. And then you see Starscream look over to Spike's dad and Davey as Starscream grabs Davey and says, are you the creatures that live in this place? As Starscream grabs him and says, so fragile, and he squishes him to death. He literally grabs him with his hand and squishes him to death. And Spike's dad sees that in horror. And that's where it ends. That is where it ends. And my God, this is such a good comic. This is how you introduce the Transformers again. I gotta be honest here. I was kind of on, you know, I was kind of iffy with this comic because it seemed a little too G1. But man, they do it so right. It's just a modern day G1, but a lot more serious to it. I really am liking the portrayal of Starscream. I like the portrayal of Optimus so far. I do think it is a bold move to not have Bumblebee to be in these comics at all, at least for this time being, because, you know, it's comics. They're always going to find out a way to bring these type of characters back. So it is really cool and awesome to see this nice and fresh take while still, you know, being faithful with the art style and, you know, the origins of the Transformers and all that. So yeah, it's really cool to see just a modern day G1 attempt, especially in comic form. It is very nice and cool. There's a lot of references in this comic issue alone. I mean, you have Spike and Carly, you have Spike's dad, Sparkplug. All three of those characters were from G1. You have the power plant, which was part of More Than Meets the Eye in the pilot for G1. You have them being, you know, offline as the arc crashes into a mountain. It's really cool. I really do like how they're doing these references in this issue. I am very excited to cover issue 2, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to cover issue 1, but we should have issue 2 covered next week, as I'm going to do my best to catch up and get current on the comics. And we are also going to check out Void Rivals as well. And man, these Transformers comics are no joke, and we should have been covering them earlier. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.